As of March 1st, there were 22 cow-calf pairs at John Angus Farms. The first heifer gave birth on February 1st, and the last of the older cows that may have missed a reproduction cycle will deliver calves into April or early May.
My particular day starts a little bit around 6 o'clock, and I'm usually up and do a few things around the house, get some breakfast and whatnot, and then I come out and I start with a few chores, working my way across the calf here, bring him some feed and feed him, and go take a quick look at everything else that's down here. After that, back up and tractor and start feeding.
Randy John says this calving season, most births from the 144 Angus mothers on his farm south of Miller will be uneventful.
Weather's probably the biggest concern when it comes to calving. That when this foot of snow, we'd had a little more wind, and I'd been getting calves like I probably will be maybe next week. Why, that's probably one of my biggest concerns.
While science comes into play in selecting genetics with artificial insemination and even embryo transplants, the actual process of calving remains low-tech and natural. Human assistance is needed only when there is a problem.
If the cow is going to be a good mother, and Mother Nature doesn't throw the cow a curve where it makes it impossible for her to have a calf, one that's backwards, one that's got a leg back, those little things and that's what we're spending most of our time out here for, is to correct those as they happen. And when it works, our night checks and stuff are, what am I getting up for? Everything always works. When you don't, something doesn't.
Labor might last 2 hours or go 18 to 24 hours. John knows his cattle so well that he can walk through lots east of the barn and identify individual traits that tell him if a cow will give birth soon.
It gets harder every year to get started at the beginning of calving season. But once you get started, the babies and all that, and then watching them grow, being around the cattle, handling them, and being able to handle them and not have them be nuts.
Hard work, volatile markets, and weather that's almost always windy and often too cold, too hot, too wet, or too dry in Nebraska often creates challenges in the cattle business.
It's a challenge, and I guess in a lot of ways it's Mother Nature challenging you. You got to work with and around what she does and make things work the way you want them to. Most everybody likes a challenge.